Hey Breezers, how are you guys? Happy Halloween weekend. I thought we would do something a little bit different tonight. It's kind of cool. About a year ago, around this time probably, I had posted a tweet, send me your paranormal ghost stories, um, your paranormal stories, anything like any of your experiences. And I finally got a tweet just the other day from this person right here. The channel name is The Celtic Druid. And they told me about this ghost story of theirs, and they said it definitely needs more coverage. So I figured, let's go ahead and get into the spirit of Halloween. Let's get ready for it and let's watch this together. So, this is titled The Ghost of Gladstone Villa, the full story, part one. Um, I want to thank this channel so much for recommending your story to me. Thank you for letting me use this to share with the Breezy Bunch. So, you guys, I do have to pause every so often to talk. I'm going to try not to do it too much, but, I do have to talk a little bit. So, I have a snoring dog next to me. I'm in my pajamas, nice and cozy. Let's go ahead and get into this.
The ghost of Gladstone Villa was a truly genuine experience that really did happen to me, my family, and our friends from 1969 to the summer of 1978 in the former mining town of Bargoed, which was in the Caerphilly County Borough of the South Wales Valleys. Here's a brief history of Bargoed,
Okay.
just to give you an idea of what the town is like. It was originally a market town, but it grew substantially after the opening of the colliery in 1903. The shops and properties that are there now are over 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
It's quite a history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Notable people that were born there was an actress called Doris Hare. She played Mum in On the Buses.
Oh.
Stan Butler's mum. Yeah, Reg Varney. She was born there in 1905. And then there was Rod Hull, who, of course, he lived there during the war. He was famous for that puppet Emu. And he mentions
Oh.
it in an interview with Mavis Nicholson. That's on YouTube as well. So, and
Okay, I'm
yeah.
stopping to talk really fast just to say I have like chills right now. I'm already into it. Like the vibe is set. I am ready to hear your story.
Series 5 of Stella was filmed there as well in 2015. I remember them filming it outside the Frisky Fox pub. That I've had a few drinks in there, I could tell you. And I saw Ruth Jones coming out of the pub after filming, pretending to be on her phone and to avoid the fans.
Uh-huh.
And Doctor Who was filmed there too
What?
in April 1973. An episode called The Green Death, which starred John Pertwee, commonly known as the one with the maggots. I did meet John Pertwee there
Uh-huh.
on 2 occasions. There's a photo of me here with him.
Oh, we get a photo.
I don't know if you could see that. There's John Pertwee.
I want to pause it so we can try and look at it more. Oh, wow. Okay.
Me. That was taken in the 1990s. I'm very proud of that.
That's awesome.
It's not every day you get to meet your favourite Doctor Who. Now, a brief history of my family. I've got my notes here, so please bear with me. Oh yes, Bargoed is 17.3 miles from Cardiff, north of Caerphilly, just a 35-minute drive from Cardiff. And here's my family. My granddad Bill, William George Higgs, Bill to his friends. There's a picture of him
Oh.
right there. That's him.
I'm going to try and pause it. I don't know if you guys can zoom in. Wow. I like that we get pictures. I'm already loving this.
He's a former miner. He retired after a nasty accident because he worked at Bargoed Colliery. And there's my father there. Picture of my
Uh-huh.
dad there. That's my mother. And my Nana Rita there too. It's not a very good picture, but still trying to create an atmosphere.
I love looking at older photos. This is so rad.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very down to earth family. Although pretty God fearing. Um, yeah. Rita Higgs and Caroline Higgs, obviously, they're their only daughter, which of course is my mother. She was born in Francis Street, number 3 Francis Street in Bargoed,
Uh-huh.
and that was in May 1950. Yeah. And they moved to a much larger property called Gladstone Villa, because Francis Street, they only had one room there. Can you imagine how difficult it was to bring up a baby in a small room in Francis Street
Oh, right.
in the 1950s? So they moved to a much larger property called Gladstone Villa sometime in 1960. This was in Cardiff Road. And there was no spooky incidents then, not for a
Okay.
good 9 years, because it happened in 1969. So after Mum left school, she went to Bargoed North School. She in 1965 she got a job at the bakehouse, which is in Baldwin Street. It's all demolished now, and a house is built on top of it in its place. And
Uh-huh.
she met my father there, William Douglas Dexter. He was born in the village of Bargoed, which is the neighbouring village of Bargoed.
Mm-hmm.
The actor Luke Evans, the famous actor Luke Evans, who was also brought up there. He was in the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast, and also Dracula Untold.
Oh, wow.
Here that is too. There he is, Luke Evans. If you want to look him up, he was brought up in my father's birthplace. So there we are. There you go. Let's put those to one side. So where are we? On the ones. Yeah, my mum and dad dated for 3 years before they got married.
Uh-huh.
On the 1st of April 1968. The Beatles were number 1 with Lady Madonna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they didn't get a place of their own. They stayed with my maternal grandparents, Bill and Rita,
Wow.
at Gladstone Villa. And I was born on the 24th of August 1969, a Sunday, at Caerphilly Miners Hospital. And Honky Tonk Woman was number 1 by the Rolling Stones.
I love this. I love this so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and letting us listen. I feel grateful right now, and I don't know, I'm so happy. This is so interesting, and I love the pictures. I love the history.
It was soon after I was born that the activity started. And my mother said it all started off in the attic.
Of course. Always in the attic, always.
And eventually occupied itself in the main bedroom. And because obviously naturally thinking there was a break-in, my father went to investigate, only to find that there was nobody there.
Wow.
But the hatch to the attic was open. Curious indeed. But anyway, eventually occupied itself in the bedroom, whatever it was, which was incidentally was my grandparents' room, Bill and Rita.
Uh-huh.
And it would make its presence felt by making noises, walking around. So over the years, we all heard footsteps. We witnessed mild poltergeist activity. When I say mild, it wasn't going on all the time. We had lived relatively normal lives, everyday lives. We had our breakfast, I went to school, and I would talk about it in school, what was going on there. Not everyone believed me, but so yeah, but there were some scary moments.
I bet.
We saw cables being pulled by
Hey, you guys, I guess we're all so into this. I heard a noise. I jumped. Chachi barked. So let's go ahead and continue on.
horses. and my pillow was torn right in half, according to my mum, when I was a little baby.
Oh my gosh.
I hope that I wasn't in the pram when it happened, or in the cot rather. But that's typical poltergeist activity, isn't it? So,
I guess. Wow.
yeah. And there were some rare sightings, so rare that I didn't see it in all the 9 years I was there. But my mother saw it at least on 2 or 3 occasions, possibly. But I think there's some rational explanations to some of the phenomena that went on there. But not all of it can be
Right?
explained quite easily.
I just want to say, isn't that normal? We try to rationalize it at first. Oh, like when you see something in the corner of your eye, oh, it was just my eyes are blurry, my eyes are tired. Oh, I don't know, something floating in the air. We try to rationalize it at first.
Um, so, yeah, all this was enough, really,
Mm-hmm.
to leave us in no doubt that this was very real. Absolutely no doubt at all whatsoever. The Gladstone Villa property actually convinced a skeptic and a non-believer.
Really?
So there we are. For us, that was hard evidence. That was actual confirmation that there is some sort of spiritual form of life.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily proof of an afterlife for us. A Christian point of view would say it's demonic. Mrs. Davy France was the skeptic. She was a family friend, more of a friend to my grandmother Rita. I can remember Ivy looking around the bedroom, the main bedroom, and she said, "It's the traffic from outside, it is causing vibration." But of course, in time she discovered that it wasn't, and she found out for herself that it was genuine. So Ivy suggested the local press,
Uh-huh.
but my grandmother Rita feared ridicule and mockery, so that was
Oh.
vetoed really. So a medium came to the property, Ivy suggested. I think it was somebody Ivy knew, John Matthews. He arrived, he asked the family questions, and he began to start to challenge the spirit by knocking on the ceiling and knock back at him. And then again he went into a trance to try and make contact with it,
Oh my
and he
gosh.
failed to get a name. But when he came round, he later said that it was confirmed the obvious really, that there was a presence there, and it was an earthbound spirit, but
Uh-huh.
it had come back and finished business, basically. Ivy's son Charles also called at Glastonbury with his friends, Colin Evans, Ed Edwards. They were bikers, they were, 1970s. I can remember them coming there. Yeah, Charles said they did a seance because obviously they had my family's permission to go up into the bedroom and have a look. And they said they did a seance there. And Colin said that they were attacked. He said it was a spooky place. Colin now lives in
Attacked?
less than Superman, and even
Attacked?
there he said it was a spooky place. So there we are. Ed Edwards, here's another one, a former miner, said he saw carvings in the wall in the bedroom, in the main bedroom, because that's what the main activity was going on. It was
Carvings?
all coming from there. The rest of the house wasn't really affected at all. But he saw it, and I saw this myself. I can remember it. I did a little drawing of it, and it was something like this, like that. Now, if anyone
Oh
out there
wow.
watches this, can anyone tell me what this means? Because I don't. So I'll just put that there. My grandfather Bill used to enjoy tape recording things, family, and they've all been lost now, but he actually recorded the spirit activity going on down there. And there was a time where what I can only regard as a premonition, a warning. Something happened before it happened, if you know what I mean. Something was recorded on tape before it happened. And it was the sound of an ambulance and also messages as well. Now,
Oh
there was
my
nothing going
gosh.
on outside when they played it back. But obviously, the only rational explanation I can find for that is that they must have picked it up from a distance. But not long after that, I ended up in hospital. I was close to death in an oxygen tent at Cardiff Hospital. According to my mother, they almost lost me.
What?
So, but I obviously didn't die. But and yeah, my grandfather, being a retired miner, as he was, you know, he had one of those tin baths that all miners used to have, and we had one in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Every winter time, he was brought out in the front room by the fireplace for me, and I used to bath in it every Sunday night for school the next day. Of course, that was stored in the bathroom, the actual bathroom itself, and it was hung on the wall. One night we was watching a film. Yeah, I can even remember the name of the film. It was called The Fiend Without a Face. It was an old black and white film about these brains that would go, and they were all shot up and blood and guts everywhere.
Oh, heck no. I have goosebumps. Oh, heck no.
That was on television that night when we heard a loud crash. Just a sudden bang. Just once, this went off.
Uh-huh.
We all went into the bathroom and we found that tin bath on the floor. Now, to this day, it's not an argument, it's just a disagreement. Again, a rational explanation can be found for that. I happen to think that it was just fallen off the nail. The nail came off. But my
Right.
mother said no. She naturally attributes it to the spirit. Again, because I like to rationalise things, because obviously it keeps me sane.
Right.
But the only pets we had when I was growing up were cats. And I can remember that grey cat we had as well, and also there was another one. And they ended up in that room, that haunted bedroom.
Uh-huh.
And the family went in there and saw the cats. One was frightened to death of what happened in there. One was, nobody knew
See, animals always know. I think animals can definitely sense things.
what really happened to this day. One was up in the chimney, because we had a fireplace in the chimney as well, because we had no central heating back then. And yeah, but the one, he must have caught the one because he wouldn't eat or drink after that, and eventually it died.
Oh.
And it was buried in the garden of my great grandmother's place, Edith Higgs, Billy's mother, at number 38 North Road. So there we are. Yeah. Leanne France. I had quite a crush on her, you know. She's the only girl I wanted to marry.
Aw.
She was the granddaughter of Ivy France, the family friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Leanne used to come down often. And yeah, she said she saw this rocking horse walking back and forth on its own.
Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Nope.
Now, I remember I did have a rocking horse. It was a white plastic rocking horse.
Uh-huh.
And creepy. Fred Davis was a friend of my grandfather Bill. They worked at Bargoed Colliery together. And you'll find pictures of all black and white pictures of Bargoed Colliery. Yeah, he had two experiences at Glastonbury. The main one was when we was all in the living room. It was all quiet all of a sudden. I was by the sideboard playing with my toys.
Uh-huh.
Fred would come up, I think, every evening or sometimes. And he would sit by the fireplace, by the open fire, by the chair. He used to wear a flat cap and used to smoke homemade cigarettes, rollies as you call them. And we were just talking as you do. And all of a sudden there was a loud bang, just one loud bang. It was so loud that Fred ducked his head like that. When it was quiet, we all went upstairs to investigate. We went to that bedroom and we could find nothing to account for that one noise. And Fred later told us that he said, oh, I ducked my head because I thought it was going to come through the ceiling.
Whoa.
The other incident was that my grandfather Bill would like to look out the landing window, you know, sort of like overlooking Cardiff Road, that goes into Bargoed town centre. And this occasion, Fred joined him. They were there just talking, and all of a sudden he said he felt something walk past him. When he looked around,
Whoa.
nothing there. So, there you go. I had my own what I could only describe the most frightening experience that I ever had there.
What happened?
I was in that bedroom on my own. The light was on, I made sure of that. I was lying on the bed, facing the window that overlooked Cardiff Road, and it was very quiet, and all of a sudden I heard a jump on the bed. I just wondered, I could even hear the springs, you know. And it was a heavy one as well. It wasn't the cats. Cats wasn't even in the room.
Oh my gosh.
I went downstairs to tell my family, my grandfather Bill and my nana Rita. We went back upstairs and we saw distinctive paw marks, large paw marks, like that of an animal, a dog.
What?
That is true.
Wow.
Yeah. Grandad Bill's experiences in that room. He told us one day he couldn't move. He was absolutely paralysed. Couldn't even shout out for us to help him. He said he was lying on the bed. He couldn't move. I happen to think that was some sort of sleep paralysis, but he said there was something in there with him.
Oh my gosh, can you even imagine? I'm going to need a nightlight tonight when I sleep. Wow.
So, another incident that he had was he went into that bedroom again and he told us that a bottle was thrown towards him. Missed him by inches, and
Oh
he
my
came
God.
down with that bottle as well. I can remember him coming into the living room with it. Now, obviously, I didn't see it with my own eyes. I didn't witness it, but I do happen to believe him.
Right.
With all the things that was going on down there. There was another time with the bathroom. One of us wanted to use the bathroom, and we couldn't open the door because someone behind it was blocking it. And my grandfather Bill said he's behind there. To me, it sounded like some sort of Gregorian chant.
What?
Oh,
Oh no, don't do that.
something quite like that. But we all heard it. But anyway, eventually it had gone, and we'd gone to the bathroom. Derek Harwood was another family friend. He'd come down, and he experienced something. He was painting the living room door, painted it green of all colours, and it started again. It took exception to the smell, probably, and Derek was determined to finish this job. He said, "I'm going to do this no matter what," with a few added expletives. And there we are. So he told people as well, even his own son, Danny. Yeah, my grandmother Rita Higgs, had her own experiences. There was one time where she went into that bedroom again. My grandfather was lying on the bed. And she told him to get up, you lazy punk. With that, all of a sudden, the boiler door swung right open. She didn't waste any time.
The ghost was, I guess,
find out what it was.
the ghost was mad that she said the word punk? I don't know.
So, yeah, and there's another time where she felt like a sensation of something pulling under her foot, like she stood on his gown, as such. And an item of her clothing went missing as well. But obviously, another rational explanation for that is that she obviously misplaced it somewhere and couldn't remember where it was. But again, she attributed it to the ghost and said, "Oh, he took it. He's wearing it, or he gave it to his wife." They were her underwear. Yeah. Grandad Bill would often mock the spirit, because my grandmother gave it a nickname. It was so bad that we all slept downstairs. The lights. Well, my grandfather was the only one that slept in that bedroom, and he would shout out, "Johnny O." Yeah.
Wow.
But nothing would happen because he tried to get reaction and nothing did happen. My grandfather would like to play records, songs like from Johnny Cash, Glenn Campbell, Slade Whitman.
Great taste in
Have an
music.
album by Slade, the original vinyl album. Right here. The all new Borrowed and Blue. And apparently the spirit took exception to this particular album because every now and again it'd switch it off, and this would annoy my grandfather Bill. This often reminds me of that time, and also
Okay, that's
My
cool that it was communicating through music.
grandfather, way back in the 1970s. Nostalgia. Yeah. My mum apparently had 3 sightings there. There was a time where I've obviously mentioned this before. This is pretty well documented, that she saw the full solid figure of a monk standing near the doorway behind the settee. We
Wow.
was all watching television, so I didn't see this.
Uh-huh.
She just happened to look towards her left, where my grandmother was. She was reading a book, she was. And she just saw it behind the settee in full, typical brown habit with the hood over the head, so she didn't see the face.
Oh my gosh.
She looked again towards the television and turned again, and it was gone. And it was after that she told my grandmother, I just saw a monk. It was right by you. And my grandmother said, I'm glad you didn't tell me that when he was there.
Goosebumps. Oh my gosh.
There was another time where she saw the face of an elderly man. And I saw the reaction on her face. I can remember it now. It happened in the daytime.
Uh-huh.
She just happened to go towards the settee, and she looked left towards the doorway, which was open in the hallway. The door. So I was behind the door, so obscured the hall, so I didn't see it. But she let it
Right.
describe to me as a face with wavy white hair, a face she hadn't seen before.
Wow.
So I
Oh
don't know
no.
what that was. There was another time where she said she saw a man when she was just falling asleep in the settee or the chair, and she woke up and she saw a man placing sticks for the fireplace. She thought it was my grandfather Bill, but when she asked him rather, that wasn't me, he said. I didn't do that. But it could well have been this missed memory. That's the only rational explanation I can find for that. Grandad Bill would. Was it? Yeah. Grandad Bill's Slade album.
I love how you have notes and names for everything. Like, if I didn't believe before, like, this is making... And I've always kind of believed, but the fact that you have everything so well documented, it's wow.
A priest or a vicar was called the Gladstone Villa. His name was Graham Jones. He blessed the property, and after a few short prayers, he duly left. And there was peace and quiet for a few short months after that. I'm going to put my teeth in. So,
At least it was quiet for a
but it
few
did
months.
return in with a vengeance. Banging sounds, the sounds of dragging. Mum and Grandad Bill once claimed to have heard a baby cry in there, in the bedroom, in the wardrobe, of all places. I remember that wardrobe, but as I didn't hear the baby crying, I took very little notice of what they said. I thought perhaps they may have been exaggerated or perhaps been mistaken. It didn't make sense to me at the time. And I can remember my father, because, they divorced in April 1975. The British band, the Bay City Roses, #1. Very apt, isn't it? Bye bye, baby. But my mother had to have an operation on her toe. She had an ingrowing toenail, so she had to go to hospital
Ouch.
and have it removed. So she ended up on crutches. The nurse would attend to her foot. And one day, this nurse came to attend to the foot. And she would knelt down the toes like that. And she said to my mother, "Don't hold me, love." So she looked at my mother and my grandfather, as if to say, "I'm not holding her." My mother drew to the conclusion that it was Johnny holding her.
Oh my gosh, no.
My grandmother gave it. So we left in the summer of 1978 when 2 local businessmen bought the property. They were Italian men named John and Aldo Rissi. Hang on a minute. The business is still there now in Bargoed called Rissy's Cafe. You can look that up.
Oh, wow.
And
I
they
probably
got the
will.
best ice cream in Bargoed. Right? No arguments there. And but anyway, we all packed our stuff. Our stuff was ready to be packed, obviously ready to be taken up to the next property that we lived on. It was all stored outside in the hallway. It was all black plastic bags. We all got ready for bed, or to sleep on the settees because we slept on the stairs all night. We did,
Uh-huh.
and the light was on again. There was my mother, myself, and my grandmother on that settee. All of a sudden, we heard the rustlings and our stuff being moved around, and the door being tried. The doorknob, those old-fashioned 1970s doorknobs that go around. Thought it was coming in. My mother was hysterical. Mom, mom, mom. I thought it was my grandfather Bill messing up because he's the only one that slept upstairs.
Right.
But I shouted out to him and said, Billy! But there was no, mocking laugh that would give it away. So we asked him the next day, was that you last night? He said, no, because there's a lot of blame going on. Because I can remember when Bargoed police.
Police? Guys, so that's where it cut off. That was part one. I'm going to look and see if there's a part two. Let me know if you want to watch that together. Thank you so much for watching this with me. And I hope you guys have a fun and safe Halloween weekend. I will see you so soon. Bye.